Welcome to Pop On to Pop Off, a short edition, just popping on to remind you Worldwide Ramblings will be on the air tonight at 10 p.m. East Coast time. Gene Ho has written a new book, and it's in print as I speak to you on this Saturday, September the 8th. And people have already pre-ordered it. September the 14th. September the 14th. Usually I speed time up. Now I'm simply I'm behind. It's the 14th of September already, the day I'll always remember, because that was not the day that my daddy died. I know it was the 3rd of September that they sing about in Papa Was a Rolling Stone. My name is Jack Willard, and Worldwide Ramblings is coming on tonight. And been speaking with Gene Ho, but this is his story to tell. And we hope to have him on for an interview very soon. And we'll talk about this brand new book that he has written. You can go to georgemagazine.com, I'm pretty sure, and order it right there. Pre-order the book. I don't even know the title yet. That's how new it is. But Gene is going to be sending me a little bit of information on it, and but we won't tell his story for him. We'll have him on here and see what he's got to say. But there is a chapter in the book about Pastor Bob Joyce. Hi, Cheryl Larson. Welcome. Linda Pedalove. Thank you, Linda, for the kind thoughts about Karen, who always has pain issues. She's had them for years, and we're always trying to find innovative ways to control this various fibromyalgia, neck pain, all kinds of things, She's had some surgery, but all that did was sort of make it so that she wouldn't likely have a terrible incident happen if we were rear-ended, They kind of strengthened the upper back, it seems, around the shoulders. They put a new disc in. So that is safer for her. But it didn't take away the pain. And he said that. The surgeon down in Hackensack, New Jersey, said there was no guarantee this would help with the pain, and it didn't. William Brown, downtown William Brown. Hello, hello, hello. Stefan Thomas is here. Love and peace from Ohio. Linda Daly. Hi, Jack. Irish Mini something. Hi, Jack, from Ireland. Yes. Beautiful, lush Ireland. I mean, that's what the pictures look like. I can't say that I've ever been there. Greg Hines is here. Well, Gregory Hines, we know you. Hello, Jack, from Alvin, Texas. We'll watch you tonight. Terrific. Victoria Winters is here, also known as Vicky Matthews. Hello, Jack. Here's Victoria Winters running away from Collinwood. Some people say she should have done that when she first arrived, because she was going to be held prisoner a number of times. Everybody seemed to want to kidnap either Vicky or Catherine Lee Scott, Josette Dupre. Even little David locked Vicky up, and he was only 9 years old at the time. He locked her up in the east wing of Collinwood. Yeah, but that was wonderfully played by Alexandra Molka, and she was there for a few years, and then moved on to an entirely different career, including being a documentary filmmaker. Went and got my Trump hat and flag for the new president of the United States. Well, you're an optimist, and I like that too. Um, some places you wear that hat, they'll come up and punch you in the face. That's the kind of place we live in now. So be prepared and always be on the lookout. People cannot tolerate, you know, the Democratic Party once called themselves the party of tolerance, but they are anything but that. They call themselves the defenders of democracy. They are exactly the opposite. I was trying to tell my friend Leon, I didn't want to hear that he was for Kamala Harris. This is an 81-year-old Democrat. And I said, I really, Leon, just don't want to hear that you're for Kamala Harris. And of course, he has Trump derangement syndrome. So he would vote for just about anybody over Trump. But I said, Leon, she's not a Democrat. Your party has been stolen. It has been ambushed. It has been sent out to sea. There is no more active Democratic Party. There are just some Democrats that are allowing it to happen and not speaking up because, again, it's anybody but the Republican and especially anybody but Trump. Now Trump is talking about a new debate, unless it's on Fox. I mean, he signed up for two where they got everything they wanted. They thought the microphones being muted would be a good thing. It only helped Trump. And so Kamala wanted that taken away. But anyway, we know that the second debate was not Trump's best performance. But I just can't believe there's enough crazy people to vote for someone who will destroy the country, as she's been doing along with Joseph R. Biden for well over 3.5 years now. Give me a break. So that's enough of that. We don't talk too much politics on the Saturday night show. We just have a lot of fun. We'll have some fun tonight. I don't want you to think you're going to tune in and it's going to be the Sean Hannity show. Unfortunately, Sean only really preaches to the choir. So all the stuff he repeats and repeats and repeats, really, it doesn't. I know he says, well, maybe the independent voters, now they're not watching you either. So he preaches to the choir, and then, we have an election and it's a 50-50 split. And we've got to do better than a 50-50 split this time. We've got to be too big to rig. Hi, Trish Terry. Hi, Jack. Good to see you and hear you. Well, I'm so happy you stopped by. And you too, Adrian. Hi. I'm good. I thought the bronchitis might be coming back a little bit. I certainly hope not. What we have, though, is a high pollen count. Do you have a high pollen count where you are? What's the weather like in Ireland right now, huh? I'd love to know Irish. I want to say Irish music, but that's not what it is. It's a long repeat of something, which means something to you, but leaves me baffled. I think the presidential race will be a close call. Well, then we lose. Those bastards will steal it if it's close. That's what I feel. That's my heart feeling. So I understand that, we're seem to be divided right down the middle. But we can't have people staying home this time. I may have to early vote, though, and that's a good thing. They're doing it, so we have to do it, too, because I may be on the road this election day. I may be on the road again, not going to let my fears stop me from seeing my son and whoever else I may see along the journey. So, yeah, we're hoping to have Gene Ho here. So far, that's a green light. And we won't tell his story for him. Even if I get a gist of what's in the Bob Joyce a chapter, I won't share anything without the permission of Gene Ho. When he's here, we'll interview him, and he can say what he wants to say about it. You don't want to give away everything, obviously. And he's writing about many other topics in his new book, too, which is printing as we speak, or, has been in the last day or so. They may have taken a break for Saturday. I don't know. Um, our pollen count is never high, huh? Because why? You have a lot of rain and stuff, and what's the temperature there right now? I wonder. Who wrote the book of love? Oh yeah, it was the Holy Spirit. Man just moved the pen. Man just moved the pen. Because if he be not risen, the whole thing is a charade. The whole thing is fake. But it is true what they say. If there had not been a God, we would have invented him. But if you want to see that there is a God, you just basically have to look out the window. You will know by the things that have been made. In other words, you will see my brilliant creation all around you, and all the ugliness and terribleness you see. Those come from acts that you created, your choices. And that's what happens this November 5th. You have a choice. This time, it's different. We either save America from a complete nosedive, or we all are cast into the cesspool. There's no real middle ground this time. There's no middle ground like there was with Obama and Clinton. This is a whole other ball game. They're going for the big prize this time, which is to transform America. And not one of them should think for a New York minute that they are in God's favor. And if they happen to be old, like one person is for sure, they should really think about what they are doing for the next lifetime, what they're setting up for themselves. We always have to think about that ourselves when we sin, But when you are responsible for the decline of America in 3.5 years, those who are behind you, egging you along, dictating, guiding you along, and those in your family and you yourself. Enough. I have to listen to his CD. I think it's him. Okay. Well, you always say that, Adrian. I thought you had come to a pretty positive conclusion by now. Um, you know, um, I do too, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not out to find that magic thing. Like if I were to go to visit Household of Faith, I'm going to praise the Lord. I really want to make that clear at this time. I'm going there to praise the Lord, not get a video. I don't think the pastor would want his picture taken with me as I hold my CD like everybody else and stand online for him to autograph it. I don't know. I'll know by the vibes. You know. But several people that go there have invited me, and Gene Ho has invited me. Other than that, I'm in the dark. Hello, Woodsley Summercraft, my buddy. We go back and forth a little bit, but I think he knows that I cherish his viewership. Hi, Jack. Hello. So we have 22 watching and 12 likes. I'm just on here for a little bit. I mean, it's a beautiful day, and I don't know that we're going to be doing that much. We were thinking about going to the town of Wawayanda picnic, but that's going to be super crowded. Our friends Sean and Norma aren't going to be there long, so it just doesn't seem like the right thing. Last night, we went downtown for a free concert. We did. We saw Jenna Esposito. Look her up. She's all over the place. She's been singing professionally since at least that I can find 2009. And she drew a huge crowd in Degman Square in downtown Middletown, New York. formerly Festival Square. Um, Perfect weather, and it was a perfect way to end the summer concert series, which always ends in August. But she was rained out, and they know that she draws a wonderful crowd, so they extended it one more Saturday, one more Friday. So we went down there at about a quarter to seven, and I carried the folding chairs because I like to be comfortable. Their plastic chairs are not comfortable, and we enjoyed 2 hours of wonderful music. I must admit, when she took a break, I snuck up. I didn't sneak up. I told Karen, "You want to go up for a drink at Old Erie while we got a little time? Our friends will watch our chairs. No one's going to steal them." And she didn't feel like a drink. And why buy a drink if she's not going to want it and drink it all? But I had this hankering for a vodka sour. Now, it's really not the vodka that I'm hankering because I told the pretty blonde bartender who makes a great vodka sour, I said, just a splash of vodka. I don't want too much. She said, sure. And she makes it perfect. It's got lots of ice and it's the cherry and an orange peel, and it's so tasty, But it did give me a buzz. It did give me a buzz. I could tell that there wasn't a lot in there, but I don't drink very often, so I got a buzz. And now Karen is thinking I'm going to have to make the drive home. He's not going to drive home, and I totally agree with her. I mean, they're not going to give me the kind of patience they gave Justin Timberlake, who had to get up and make a big announcement how it was so wrong for him to drive. I think they took his license away, Justin, but I think he can afford people to drive him around. And he certainly could handle a $500 fine. Most people go through the whole process that don't have money, and it ends up being $10,000. They don't reduce it to a DUI, it stays a DWI. Justin was swerving all over the road and blew a stop sign. So he had to make a contrition. And I don't know that he's Catholic, but he had to make a contrition. And that was a good thing. But I did feel a little buzz as I walked out of Old Erie to go back to hear more Jenna Esposito and join Karen again. And so I thought I would play that up. And I pretended to be three sheets to the wind. And I said, Karen, there is a hippopotamus sitting right by the flagpole. I swear to God. Well, I didn't say that. I would never say that. But I said, there is a hippopotamus sitting right by the flagpole. And at that point, she said, give me the keys. And of course, she drove home, and I'm a nervous wreck. I got to be honest. Karen, you're too much in the middle of the road. Slow down. Slow down. Stop. See that guy? He stopped. All the things she says to me, except not so much the middle of the road part, which is scary. She says, well, one time when I was younger, when my mom was alive, she said I was coming too close to the parked cars. So ever since then, I said, you can't come too close to the parked cars, and you can't drive in the middle either. You're scaring me here. So, I'm very particular about who I drive with, especially if it's any kind of a long distance. Not that that really matters. Most accidents happen close to your home. Um, so people get offended sometimes when I want to do all the driving, but I'm not putting my life in your hands. I'm not doing that. Um, and it's something about when I'm doing long trip driving, I'm in the groove. Now, there are times when you can kind of relax. There's hardly anybody on the road and what have you. You can relax a little bit. The idea of driving a Tesla and it's doing the driving for me, I'd have to find myself some lithium to do that. You know what I mean, Linda Daly? You are so welcome, Petal. Well, I'm glad you are so welcome, Petal. She loves Petal. Petal love is what Linda is all about. All about. Nobody knew it's our regular people that hopefully will join us for Worldwide Ramblings tonight at 10 o'clock. What will we do on this beautiful day? I'm tempted to smoke a cigar in the gazebo at some point and watch. Well, I can't watch because it's a radio show. Listen to Jimmy Stir at 6 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern on the Polka, I didn't say poker, Polka Jammer Network.org. Polka Jammer Network.org. Why don't you join me? You'll enjoy the show so much. I'll be in the gazebo. You'll be wherever you are and in the world. And tune in at 6 p.m. and we'll enjoy the Jimmy Stir Saturday night polka party together. Now, this is a beautiful day for what he'll be doing next Saturday, which is the Oktoberfest. They have to move it into September because lately in October it's been getting chilly early, and it was horrible weather last year for that. We didn't go. I mean, it was cold. It was pushing 48, 49 degrees. And because we had gone to one in October that was absolutely magical, like it is today. But they moved it to next week. But sometimes it just seems like you just can't win. I mean, today is the day to have it, but they'll have it next week, and we'll probably have a Cat 1 in the middle of it. Cat 1 hurricane. I don't know. So we'll be right down there at Anthony Wayne Park in Bear Mountain area, New York, right off the Palisades Parkway. It's a beautiful park, and there'll be all these vendors here, vendors there. So now there'll be, I know my friend Sean and Norma, Sean will have his big mug of beer. I'd rather drink turpentine, not really, but close, so that's not for me. And they don't have my drinks there, and it's just as well they don't, because I keep that to something I just do every once in a while, you know. Um, Also next weekend in Little Italy, down in Lower Manhattan, is the San Gennaro Festival. I always wanted to go to that. Cousin Brucey will probably be broadcasting there. He's going to be 88 years old next month. He'll probably be broadcasting there on Saturday night on WABC radio. Jenna Esposito will be there on Sunday night. Sunday night, she'll be down at the San Gennaro Festival. She's Italian. Some may think she's Spanish, but she's Italian. And as I say, she's been doing this. She has like 4 or 5 CDs out. She's absolutely sensational. She loves the oldies. She loves Italian songs. Her father, Fortune Esposito, is her musical conductor. He sang as well last night. And another guy in the band sang, and they were just terrific. They were just a whole lot of fun, And then we came home, and Karen made me a slider. I really am trying to get away from hamburgers. The one beef product that I cannot stop eating is meatballs. I mean, I got to have my meatballs once in a while. If you know how to make a good meatball, that's the way to a man's heart. That's the way to the man's heart. If you want to get those frozen meatballs that Karen sometimes buys for Andy, to be honest, I would sooner eat Alpo. I would sooner eat Alpo than those. They kind of taste like Swedish meatballs. Anytime I see those little meatballs in a buffet or in the appetizers, I know exactly what they're going to taste like, these Swedish meatballs. They're going to taste like those meatballs in a bag. That's just the way it is. People are sending hearts. She definitely is on YouTube. Oh, yeah. And she's, I think it's JennaEsposito.com, I say. She did some great songs. She did Cara Mia, which you can find on YouTube. You'll find her singing that Cara Mia. Let's get it right. Not Cara Mia. Cara Mia. Must we say goodnight? Jay Black, of course, made that famous. Who wasn't really a Jay? Jay and the Americans has had 3 lead singers. All of them had to change their name to Jay. Or was Jay Traynor a real Jay, the first one? He did one song and left the group. This is a group that would go on to have 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 hits, including a #1 song with This Magic Moment, their cover of that song. But it was meant to be because Jay Black was meant to front that group. But Jay Trainer did She Cried. And when they told her I didn't love her anymore. Or when I told her, maybe he had the guts to tell her. Maybe he had his friend tell him. I don't really know, folks. She cried. That's Jay Trainer. And that was the only song hit that he sang. Did one album with Jay and the Americans. But they're from Warwick, New York, the founding members. Not Jay Black. He never lived around here, but he's gone. And the first Jay Trainer, I think he's gone. Is he? Maybe not. I don't know. So they have a third Jay now, who's, of course, not named Jay either, but he is now. He's terrific. He's terrific. And the two older founding members are still there. And as I've told this story before, you wouldn't think that they would both still be there when the time I saw them at the Goshen Historic Track, Goshen's oldest track, which only runs during July 4th time. They have a week of racing then. This in the 50s is where James Cagney and other actors used to come up on when they had time off to bet on the horses at Goshen Historic Track, hang out in Goshen. Yeah. And so they were playing in like the blazing sun, which was on them, And I saw the oldest member sit down and he was just kind of strumming. Then I see the Goshen ambulance pulling up behind the stage. He made it to the end of that show as they were standing nearby. And then they helped him off the stage and they took him away in the ambulance. Now, that was like, I don't know, 2015. It's now 2024 and he's still touring. So sometimes when you think, oh, this man is not long for this world, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I'm happy to be wrong. Happy, as I'm happy. I don't like that guy, Pharrell, because he was the one who voted Caitlin Caparelli off The Voice after 5 weeks. I know someone that's going to be auditioning for The Voice on Thursday. What would you do if you knew that they were just having this person on to film it and make him a joke? What would you do? Would you send him a voicemail and say, don't do that? You're not going to get on The Voice if you do get on The Voice. I know American Idol used to do this. I'm not sure The Voice does this. They're going to make fun of you. You don't have what it takes. You do other things that are okay, but this is someone who just always wanted to be in show business. So they're going to use him as a bud of jokes. And I'd like to see him spared that experience. He does karaoke around here sometimes. Hello, Teresa. How are you? Nancy Whitmore is here. Hi, Nancy. I'd love to go to Louisiana. Well, I want to go to New Orleans. I do. I think we might get to do it at some point. Not going to do it during Mardi Gras. They must double the prices of any place you could stay at. And it's more crowded than, the Mount Hope picnic is going to be today because it's basically free. But I think now they might have gotten smart and you have to show your ID. If you're not a member of the town if you're not a resident of the town of Wawayanda, you can't eat for free. You gotta pay. It didn't used to be that way. They have fireworks tonight and what have you. I can't go for fireworks. I've got a broadcast to do tonight. This is just popping on to pop off. Popping on to pop off. All right. And so it's amazing, and it is you loyal folks that make this channel successful. You play a key role. If I have a hot video and it starts to get, 3,000 views, 10,000 views, 18,000 views, that helps too. But mostly it's those that hit the thanks button these days and people that hit the Cash App. I want to thank June Joyner for hitting the Cash App. And I want to thank Miss Carter again, Susan Carter, for hitting the Cash App. That's Media Guy 56, MEDIA, lowercase now, MEDIA GUY 56, Media Guy 56. But those that hit the thanks button here, I'm very thankful for you too. The thing about Cash App is I get it faster and I get all of it. That's not the way it works with Google. They take a cut and they're right to do it. They're supplying me with this platform, and I'm very grateful to them. They've never censored me either, per se, in terms of what we do on this channel. They never have censored me. So I try to respect the platform and not go too far. Not go too far. Hi, Cindy. She's going to have her MRI next week, I believe. Yeah, cat 2, huh? And your RV home that you live in wasn't too bad. We stayed for Hurricane Ida. So you're a stayer, huh? Which was a very strong cat 4, and that was super scary. See, you are the people that inspired the late James, what's his name there? Just passed away last year. What's his name? The heavyset guy who lost weight and at the end, folksy guy, called himself the funniest man in America. He said, "Now you never know. You never know with a tornado. They just come suddenly. But now with a hurricane, they will tell you that a week from today at around 4 p.m., Hurricane Irma is going to be in your town. It's going to be in your town." And they just sit there and wait for it. Oh, my goodness, Cindy. Cindy. I can't imagine what that. I hope you had a good shelter to go to. But there was not that long ago, the whole state of Florida pretty much evacuated. It ended up in South Carolina because it was supposed to be that serious, and it was in some spots. But you don't say, "Oh, it wasn't bad and we left." You say, "Praise God, we're still alive, and if there's some damage to our home, we can fix that." But sometimes, of course, they flatten it. And one of the things they're going to flatten is things like RVs and mobile homes. So just use caution. Use caution. Tess J is here. Tess, a very British name, Tessie, wouldn't you say? But are you a male, Tess? Hello, everyone. Hi, and where are you from? I love it when we get new people. Maybe you'll join us for the big show tonight. Now I'm promoting it like it's going to be so great. It usually turns out great, but you never know. Tess J. Hello, everyone. Where are you watching us from, Tess? We don't get that weather over here. We don't get that in New York, really. But we did have some sort of an earthquake this in the last 6 months, which I think I woke up during it and said, "Oh, it's another windy day. Look at those trees blowing." And I went back to sleep. Karen told me about it later. Would she have come up and knocked on the door if I was about to be blown out the window? I don't know. It depends on what she and her secret boyfriend, what kind of a life insurance policy they took out on me years ago, like in 2010 when I moved here. I'm thinking it's like $500,000 or so, I'm just joking. South Carolina. Oh, okay. Very good. We get a lot of people from that. You're a girl. You're a very lovely little gal. I won't say little. That sounds creepy. But I'm thinking of Barnabas Collins now, who fell in love over and over again. The vampire who fell in love but never could close the deal, you know. Um, he would bite them too, you know, to make them very submissive to his wishes, but it still didn't go his way. They found a way to get away from him, you know. Sometimes they jumped off Widow's Hill, though, and that was really bad. That was a bad way to get away from him. But don't worry, they're going to come back as another character because the actress that just jumped off Widow's Hill is beloved. And Catherine Lee Scott. I'm a little disappointed in her politics these days. She never talked politics till now. But and I don't know. I talked to her significant other, and I didn't get the Democratic, or shall we say progressive, vibe from him at all. So if I see him again, I might ask him about it. But she is going to be coming to Chiller Theater. She has been added to the list along with Kate Jackson. They both did Dark Shadows, but they never worked together. By the time Kate Jackson got to Dark Shadows, Kate Jackson got there. Catherine had left and moved to London. Dan Curtis hated to see her go. He said, you won't get much work out there. You won't get much work." He didn't want her to go, and he didn't realize the show was going to be canceled anyway at that point. You can only keep the kids for so long, and then they have other interests, you know, and they kind of were running out of material. But Catherine moved there, and after Dark Shadows, Dan Curtis had a production that he wanted to do in Britain, and the first person he hired was Catherine Lee Scott to be in that. I don't know what it was. It wasn't War and Remembrance, because he didn't do that in Britain, I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But he did a lot of things, and so she will be there, and Kate Jackson will be there. Biff from Back to the Future will be there, Mr. Tom Wilson himself, and he will have the longest line of all. Everybody wants to stand in Biff's line, but every line you stand in after you've paid a small admission charge, you got to pay whatever they want. You know, you want that picture with Tom Wilson, Kate Jackson, you won't have to pay for it in a place like Chiller Theater. Now, when Catherine comes to Lyndhurst Mansion, which she's not doing this year, we've seen her there twice. She, you go over to her table and you pick something out for her to sign, and she signs it for free. But then she charges you for what you're buying. You know, you're buying a book, you're buying pictures, whatever you're buying. She's got a lot of product, probably more than Kate Jackson. So I don't know what Kate's going to sell. She's going to sell a photo with her, autograph picture, that kind of thing. And, you get to meet Kate Jackson, which is kind of cool. But Tom Wilson will be the biggest draw there. And 92-year-old Barbara Bain from Mission Impossible, the only surviving big cast member, 92 years old, and she is scheduled to be at Chiller Theater. I realized that wasn't a scary show per se, except you thought they could blow up at any moment. So that's scary. And Tom Wilson, Back to the Future 2 is kind of scary, and that's what America's turning into. And if we don't have enough smart people November 5th, that's exactly what it'll turn into. And the big star that's going to be there, that I've never seen any of his work, but I want to see a movie or two now. The headliner is Mickey Rourke. Any Mickey Rourke fans out there? I just never got to watch Mickey Rourke. I almost did a couple of times. I might have seen him in something, but I don't remember it. So obviously it didn't make an impression on me. But I know he's thought of as great. So I don't know that I'm going to pay to see Mickey Rourke, but I'll see him. You know what I mean? Shane West. Nice name for a radio DJ. Too bad radio's dead, Shane. You'll have to come here on YouTube. We love us some Kate. Yeah, right? Yeah. I didn't watch Dark Shadows as a kid, you see. I missed her. I saw 1 or 2 episodes, and I thought it was cool, but it just, I was living in my own imaginary world as an only child. I read the complete set of Hardy Boy mystery stories, and I had, I didn't have friends to McDonald's in 1972 when I started working there. And I really worked there, Kamala. I actually worked at McDonald's, okay? I didn't just say I worked there. Is there anything real about that woman? Now, I don't think it's been proven she didn't work there, but I believe the McDonald's Corporation said they have no record of it, so they would know, right? Yeah, and then they kind of took it back or something because now they said, "What the heck are we doing? We got to keep our mouth shut." As Tony Soprano would say, "You keep your mouth shut, could get you into trouble." Why are you throwing away half the country by saying she didn't work there? Oh, we don't really know, really. Back then there were, we didn't keep things on computer, and there was a fire at one of our warehouses. Who knows? Maybe she worked there. I don't know. Oh, she's so outrageously bad, she will screw it up. That's what I'm holding on to, folks. She's so awful. She's so ill prepared. Apparently, she just did an interview, and I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen it? I got to see that interview. And she didn't know what to say, and she began to talk about lawn care, lush lawns. I swear to God, that's what they're saying. Have you seen that? Tell me about it if you have, because I haven't seen it yet. She turned that. Tell me about it if you have, because I haven't seen it yet. She turned an interview with very poignant questions into talking about lawn care. She is no more. She is no more ready to be president of the United States, then I am ready to run a 5K. I couldn't run a 5K. I'm not supposed to do that with cardiomyopathy. I'm just supposed to walk a little bit faster than a normal pace. I keep hitting the mic. Now, in the old days, it would have made a boom, but it doesn't seem to do that. Tess, you're doing good. Well, that means if you're passing the audition, come back tonight. But we do love us some Kate, Shane, absolutely. But I was introduced to her in The Rookies, which followed. After Dark Shadows, she did Night of Dark Shadows, the movie. The TV show was canceled in March of '71, April, March. But they already had a second movie that they had to rewrite quickly because Jonathan Frid refused to do Dark Shadows, Night of Dark Shadows. He thought the first one was too violent, but it was a hit. And I think he made a big mistake not doing it. But that really pissed off Dan Curtis, who said, I've now got to rewrite the whole movie. David Selby was going to be in Night of Dark Shadows, but he really was not going to be the star. It was going to be Jonathan Frid again, even though they killed them off. But that's never been a problem on Dark Shadows. You get killed off and you magically reappear, especially if your name happens to be Angelique. God rest the soul of Lara Parker. Barbara Kendall is here. Hi, Barbara Kendall. Julie, do you love me? OMG, Barbara Bain is still alive. I know, right? Well, June Lockhart just turned 99. June Lockhart turned 99. I don't know what kind of quality of life she has. They never say that part. But that's the mom from Lost in Space. Yes. The mom from Lost in Space. And she took over. Was that her that took over the role in Petticoat Junction when B. Benaderet was too sick to do it? Or am I confusing that? And of course, she was Timmy's mom on Lassie in the 60s. I know there was more than one Lassie. She was in the one with John Provost as Timmy, Jon, John Provost. He's still around. I don't know if he does any fan conventions. Jerry Mathers is still out there doing them, making a buck here and there where he can. There are certain people that do a lot of them, So that'll be cool. Chiller Theater is in Parsippany, New Jersey, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the last Friday and Saturday and Sunday in October. Parsippany. It's close enough we can just drive. We don't have to stay there or anything like that. And I do want to do that. So we have to cut in other ways, because our budget is much more reduced than it used to be. So let's see here. I did see here. Let me go to I don't have that up, but I could have that. I could put that on the screen just to check the email. I don't know why I think I can't. Um, Chantel has written to us. We'll share some of that. Hopefully, it's in French. Bonjour, Chantel. I do not parlez-vous français. I don't even like chicken français. Or is that chicken francaise? I want, I want, I don't want any sauce other than tomato sauce on my chicken. And I'm fine having no sauce and just a dipping or whatever, something like that. So this is going to be a challenge. Minwee T is very unhappy with Taylor Swift. The heck with her. You know, I don't think she's, you know, her audience for the most part already had decided who they were going to vote for, and many of them aren't even going to vote. So, I kind of would expect Taylor Swift would be for Kamala Harris. I don't see her as a brainiac. I don't have anything bad to say about her. It's funny though that the operative line that everybody is using is, "Don't look to Taylor Swift to decide who you're going to vote for." 90% of her songs are about choosing the wrong one. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. But what can I tell you? I will love Catherine Lee Scott despite the fact that she is for Kamala. I'm not going to stop loving her. I'm not going to stop loving Drew Barrymore. I have loved Drew Barrymore for decades. 50 First Dates I must have seen. And I know it's a chick flick, but I love Adam Sandler too. And of course, Rob Schneider's in there. And what's the guy who plays her father? He's been in a lot of things. He was in Joe Dirt. Uh, 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 he's the one who said, "She moved. She moved." He was a hillbilly. And then there was another line that what's his name? Joe Dirt um, thought he was saying something that other than what he was saying that was very funny. That actor is very funny. Very good actor. He does dramatic roles too. So Chantel, it's going to be a task here. Now, Karen may be able to help me. She knows some. She knows more German though, So I don't know, but I know there's a program that'll give it to me. I've just got to find it. Because I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice. Someone asked me to put Spanish language subtitles, and not only do I not know how to do that, I don't think I'd want subtitles running. It's got to be something you do, right? You can do that. Can you do that yourself? And only you will see them. I don't want them on the screen. Like when you watch a dubbed movie. But I'm really glad to hear from Chantel. Ruthie is here too. If you stay on long enough, they all come. Hi, Ruthie. Glad you're here. Brenda must be here. Our number one most popular person. You got something, Brenda. I'll tell you, you do. And Gail too, huh? Hi, Gail. Gail George. Yeah. Saying hello to Brenda. This is a phenomenon that is it's not that I'm saying that you shouldn't say hi to Brenda. I'm just saying that she's like Paul McCartney here. Brenda, what's your magic formula? 46 watching. It only gets bigger, huh? Please hit the thanks button if you can. $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever you can do if you're part of our family here and it's within your budget. If not, I totally understand. I don't know why people like Taylor Swift. Well, it's not our age group, Cindy. I mean, I listened to her tunes. They weren't that bad. My God, some of the crap you hear out there, she's a cut above, and she produces so much. I mean, this woman is always working. She seems to care about her fans. She's nice in concert and what have you. She's no raving beauty. You always got to see somebody without the makeup to know if they're beautiful, right? You know, I mean, Rob Lowe doesn't come out wearing lipstick and blush and eyeshadow. He's just beautiful the way he is. And I'll say beautiful because that's what he is, you know? Uh, Remember that song from the Ponies? Jenna Esposito did that last night with the lovely Linda Ronstadt, 1967, her very first hit. She has a lyric in there that I don't know who wrote the song. Maybe Carole King. I'm not sure. It's not that I'm not. It's not that I'm saying that you ain't pretty. It's just that I'm not ready for any person, place, or thing to dominate my life. Dominate my life. Sebastian, I can never pronounce his last name, the number one comedian in America right now. He's doing 4 nights at Madison Square Garden in October. This is a guy who used to play petty anti-clubs, is now doing 4 nights at Madison Square Garden. Number one comedian by far is Sebastian Manacoca, however you say it. He says, so, all people are saying this is before I think he does have a child now. He still had no gray in his hair, so this was early Sebastian. People are saying, oh, you'll have a baby, and people, then you have to realize it's all about the baby now. It's all about the baby. And he looks in the camera and he says, why the hell would I want that? That's why I do not condemn people like Catherine Lee Scott that chose not to have children, and other women. You had a desire for your life. It was not cleaning diapers and what have you. It wasn't for you, and I don't put you down for that. So this childless Catwoman thing that the J.D. Vance stated, and did it years ago, they'll pull it from anywhere, they try to make it like it's such a vicious, terrible thing to say, when it was just an off-the-cuff statement. Some women don't choose to have children, and I understand that. Well, you say the Bible says be fruitful and multiply. I understand that too. Not everybody's a Christian, though. You have to understand that. We could go back and forth. It's like ping pong, Shane West. It's like ping pong. And you just want to talk about your niece. Is she a special young niece? Is she? You love your niece, huh? That's a good thing. Riley made a new movie about Bigfoot. Riley Keough? Really? That's who I only know one Riley. If we're talking as a first name, I really only know one Riley. So that's who I think of right away. Tupelo. Birthplace of Elvis. Pam Donnelly joins us. It just amazes me. Now, I'm going to get out there and enjoy that sunshine, and I haven't even seen Karen yet today, so I got to get over there. But I wanted to let you know, Worldwide Ramblings at 10 o'clock tonight. We'll have some audio. We'll have some content. We'll do this, that, and the other. Don't do much politics on Saturday night. It's a time where people want to relax. If you want to pour yourself a nice drink, do so. And we usually have a lot of fun on Saturday, maybe even play a little comedy. Maybe even play a little clip, just a little clip of somebody very funny. That's always good. Maybe a couple of those. And who knows what else we'll do. Who else? Julie is leaving. Bye, Julie. Hope to see you tonight at 10 o'clock. Julie Backus, got to get back to work. So hope to be here later tonight. Hugs to all. Hugs to you. Hugs to you. Yeah, you're not supposed to care for her music though, Cindy. You're not supposed to care for her music. It's not your genre. I don't care for it either. But I don't, because she's for Kamala doesn't give me a desire to say, oh well, then she's shite. She's shite. Her music is shite. Her looks are shite. Oh, she's shite. No, uh, you know, they would say the same about Carly Simon probably. I don't like that, or I don't like I don't like that '60s music. They don't know better. They don't know better. So they think we don't know better. But every generation is gonna have their heroes. They're gonna have their heroes, and if they love Taylor Swift, I'm okay with that. Um, we all know. Put it this way, Cindy: would you rather them listen to Taylor Swift or Nicki Minaj? Huh? 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 Listen to some Nicki Minaj, and you'll get it. You'll get how far into the sewer we can travel. Yeah, we'll be worse than Ed Norton on The Honeymooners. He never really went into a sewer, though. He just pretended. Brenda, you didn't know that, did you? Jack, I never did care for Taylor or her music. Once again, it doesn't matter, Brenda. She's not for you. She's not for you. And I think you're motivated to say that because she's for Kamala Harris. I just feel that. Now, maybe I'm misjudging you, Miss Bren, but I don't understand. I could sit here and cite 1,000 people that I don't particularly care for. Some of them, it's just because it's not my age group and I really haven't given them a chance. Now, once in a while, somebody new, I have to say, well, that's a good song. That's a good song. You don't want to know a really good song. If I tell you one, will you check it out? It's from my man who just turned 70 years old in February. If you're over 50, you all know who he is. Bill Mooney. Bill Mooney, then known as Billy Mooney. Everybody called him Billy Mummy, but he is not a mummy. He's a Mooney. Will Robinson from Lost in Space has got a ton of music out. So we'll go to Spotify, go to YouTube Music, and if you want to hear a really poignant song from Bill Mooney, and there's so many of them, I'm becoming like a Bill Mooney fan, and he's got a brand new CD coming out that'll also be on the platforms. It's called, it's called, I know basically what it's called, but the exact title I'm forgetting. Sure of Nothing Now. I'm sure of nothing now. And that's where you get to some point in life. You can have faith. Christianity is a faith journey, seeing what is unseen or believing in what is unseen. But I can totally understand the sentiment that as you reach the age we have reached, and Bill Mooney now being 70, I'm sure of nothing now. I don't really know. As it has been said by other people, the older I get, the more I realize how little I really know. Trump 24. Well, we can agree with that, Brenda. We've got to make it happen. We've got to make it happen, folks. If we don't, we are gonna, we are going to go straight into the water. You can put on your mask and everything, that's going to drop down, but so what? Oh dear. What's your time there, Jack? It's 15 minutes after 2. 15 minutes after 2. Now, when I get passionate, just, don't confuse that with me being mad at you. I just, I'm a passionate person. Other ad libs are coming to mind, which I am rejecting for air at this time. So, Tess, I'm glad you're here. South Carolina, I think you said. I lived in Rock Hill, South Carolina for almost 2 years till I was sung that Ray Charles song. And it wasn't the first time I was privy to hearing it, sung by a woman known as my WIFE. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Oh, well, but I loved Rock Hill, South Carolina. I did. Felt at home there. Didn't think I would feel at home anywhere in South Carolina, and I did. I got to make it to Myrtle Beach. That's on my bucket list. I got to do that. When was I there, Adrian? Oh no, what's your time there? You asked me the time, and I told you 2:15. Eileen, 2:15. Too late for us over the pond. I get that. I get that. But you're always in the replay crowd, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Brenda's a country person, huh? Well, I love country, but I find myself loving the classic country a whole lot more. But with that said, people like John Rich and George Strait he came around in the 90s, right? He kind of spans both generations, you know, plenty of others as well. So it's the kind of thing, the more I hear of it, the more I like it, because I'm a lyric guy, and that's what country has become. Unfortunately, it seems like today's country is less music and more words. And what I'm trying to say, and I'm not saying it eloquently, is there's not as much great music in today's country, but the lyrics are still very strong and meaningful, Um, I understand that people like Tim McGraw and what have you are fantastic. Who did that song? All my exes live in Texas. I love that song. Only one of my exes lives in Texas, though. Only one. The other one lives in the state we just talked about. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I do hear from London Live, and I know that that it's not a good time for them unless they're one of these real early birds. I'm in Spartanburg, just down the road from Rock Hill. Okay. I remember the name. I do. We were just, a few miles away from Charlotte, North Carolina, just a few miles away. So look at that. We got, I think we went into the 40s. It's 38 now. Yes, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. And we will see you at 10 o'clock Eastern for Worldwide Ramblings. But you can always see all our past live shows in the replay section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. So we came on, and yes, Gene Ho's book can be pre-ordered right now at georgemagazine.com. georgemagazine.com. It's in print right now, and there is a chapter on Pastor Bob Joyce. I won't tell you anything about that. It's up for him to tell you, and I think we can do it via interview, and that'll be great, right? That'll be great. It'll be pre-taped, There'd be people coming on saying, well, is he or isn't he? I use his tech when we do this, We use his tech guy, and then they send it to me upon sometime after completion. So there you go. All right. Have a great Saturday. If it's still afternoon, seems to be getting a little cloudy out there. Not too bad, though. Going to go out and enjoy the day. Big God bless you. Talk to you soon.